right, let's talk about dudes competing against women in sports. I just find this to be so odd. I mean, I realize, look at all the gray in my beard. I realize I'm old, but it wasn't that long ago where dudes didn't beat up women in sports, but now that's a thing. And Riley Gaines has been bravely out there fighting against these nutballs. And now she wrote a book, Swimming Against the Current. Let's talk to Riley about it. Riley, before we get into your book, and we will definitely get into this book, let's get into you and what happened. What prompted all this activism? How'd you go from some hotshot college athlete to getting spit on by dirty trannies in San Francisco?
Oh my gosh, what a whirlwind it has been. And I think the way you just described it is actually 100% accurate. The only thing that might not be accurate is this hotshot athlete. That feels like a lifetime ago now. I'd probably drown if I got back in a pool now. But I was a collegiate swimmer. I swam at the University of Kentucky, where I accomplished some really amazing things in my career. 12-time All-American, 5-time SEC champion, one of the fastest Americans of all time in the 200 butterfly, really awesome things. But my senior year, we were forced to compete against a man, a less than average, less than mediocre man, 6'4", went from ranking in the 500s nationally against the men to then dominating the entire country of women, winning a national title in the 500 freestyle. Ultimately, he and I raced in the 200 freestyle at our national championships, which resulted in a tie, meaning we went the exact same time down to the 100th of a second. But despite tying, the NCAA decided that they would give Thomas the trophy because they said it was necessary when photos were being taken. They said, Riley, sorry, you don't get a trophy. You have to go home empty-handed. The trophy belongs in Leah's hands. And that was the moment when I could no longer stay quiet. I could no longer sit idly by with a smile on my face, just as we were being instructed to. And I decided that I would say something.
Riley, I have been hard on really all parties involved when it comes to dudes and women's sports. It's just so gross. Every part of it's gross. They're changing in the locker room, not just college women, not that that's okay, but freaking high school girls have to see this filth and crap. So I've been hard on the girls. Honestly, no boycotting. I've been hard on the parents. I've been hard on the schools. I've been hard on everything. You spoke up, and many don't. I realize I'm a harsh person. I understand that. You are much kinder than I am. Why aren't there a million Riley Gaines? There's a lot of female collegiate swimmers, a lot of studs out there in the pool. They're awesome, and they're watching this. They're just as horrified as you were. Why are they quiet?
I think a couple reasons. I think number one, people think this is something that they won't be directly impacted by. Therefore, they don't feel mobilized. They don't feel it necessary or worthwhile to take a stand because they think this won't happen to me. That's exactly, if I'm being totally honest, that's exactly how I thought. Why would I take a stand against this when I have a future ahead of me? I've got a life planned. This won't impact me. But then it did. And I saw the harm. I saw the severity. I saw the trajectory of where we're going if we don't say something. And what a tragic thing. What a tragic thing that it takes people being directly impacted before realizing they need to take a stand. And secondly, I think a lot of people are quiet because of fear. They're terrified. They're terrified of the labels, the names that will be hurled their way, the threats and the risks that they face. Again, speaking for myself, we were told that we would be murderers. We would have blood on our hands if we advocated for privacy in areas of undressing and fair competition. I mean, the bare minimum, we were called murderers. They said, don't you want to be kind? Don't you want to be inclusive? And believe it or not, it's effective. It works. You and I both know it is such a fringe minority who actually believes that men and women are the same. Not only the same, we're interchangeable. It's synonymous. You can be whatever you want one day and something totally different the next day. A very small percentage of people actually believe that. But unfortunately, that small percentage of people is who's leading our nation. It's who's leading corporate America. It's who's leading academia. And I think we have to ask ourselves, how in the world did we allow these radical, progressive extremists, I would go as far as calling them communists, how did we allow them in positions of power? And those who are in those positions who don't speak up about this, what they are is weak-kneed, spineless, morally bankrupt cowards. So,
yeah.
yeah.
I think you summed it up pretty daggone well there, Riley. Communists, and we have a bunch of nutless losers who are opposing them, and that's pretty much how we are where we are. Your story is a fascinating one. For those thinking I was just being over the top in the beginning, you were, for lack of a better word, kidnapped at a university. Here's a little clip of it for those who don't remember.
Just me. I'm good. I'm fine. Trans rights are human rights. You crying? You crying? Trans women are women. 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 Trans women are women.
Riley, for those who don't understand what all those braying hyenas are saying and doing, what happened there?
Well, I was at San Francisco State University, so of course a college, delivering a message. It was to a Turning Point chapter, student-led chapter. And upon delivering my message, my very controversial message that men and women are different, I was accosted. I was ambushed prior to this video. A mob of protesters, hundreds of them. They rush into the room where I'm speaking. They turn off the lights. They come to the front. That's when, I'm being attacked. I'm being pushed. I'm being shoved. I'm being punched in the face by these men wearing dresses, which fortunately for me, their punches really don't hurt that bad. That room you see, they ended up holding me for ransom for 4 hours, demanding that if I wanted to make it home to see my family safely again, I had to pay them money. All the while, the dean of students at the university shows up again in the middle of the night. It's like midnight at this point, and starts negotiating with the students how much I owe each of them, to which the price they agreed upon was $10 each, which makes me mad because I think I'm worth more than $10. But again, I think this speaks to why people are terrified. Who in their right mind would voluntarily put themselves in that position where you have these women with beards and these men wearing dresses? It's incredibly disorienting, attacking you from all angles. I think it takes a unique person, but what I will say, I don't feel brave. I really don't. I don't feel courageous for this stand. I feel as if I'm merely saying something that everyone already knows. That shouldn't require bravery. It's like the emperor wears no clothes parable. No, you know who's brave? It's our first responders. It's our veterans. It is our active duty military. That's who's brave, not me. And final point, I'll just say the support that I receive is tenfold anything negative. It really is. And that's, perspective. That's what it's about.